Hey there, everybody. It's Dunya, 60-minute coach, coming with a very optimistic message after this full moon. And the message is that something has to die in order for something else to be born. And although it sounds quite drastic, and I don't want to undermine the word dying in it, there is something also very exciting and stable in it. So I want you to think about things in your life, either in business or in relationships or anywhere else in your life that are not working. And when I say that things need to die, I don't necessarily mean that you would need to stop being in business, sell everything, or, make some drastic changes which are kind of cutting things off. When I say die, I don't mean necessarily cutting things off. What I actually mean is taking another look at our fantasies. Not dreams, but our fantasies. All of us growing up have had either traumas or uncomfortable situations which left scars for us. At the same time, we also built up fantasies to help us survive in that situation. And, those fantasies were childlike fantasies. They weren't real. They were an imaginary world where we escaped in difficult situations. And I want to underline how much those fantasies are alive and kicking in most of adults that I know, including myself. As you know, I always share from my own life so that you know how things actually come about in my work. So when I talk about fantasies, I talk about, for example, how you'd like the business that you have to grow. Like, you want things to happen tomorrow. You want to become famous quickly. You want, to be the center of attention. You want to help. You want to have a great impact, reach a lot of people, and you want it now. And there is nothing wrong with that want, but I think that there is also a level of fantasy involved in it. It is kind of a fact that when we reach those things, we feel that need that we didn't get satisfied when we were little will get satisfied. And I want to tell you that the death that I talk about here is the death of those fantasies, so that you don't keep hurting yourself on and on. By keeping these fantasies and by striving for them, you are actually self-sabotaging, because fantasies are not real. Dreams can become real, but fantasies not. And I think when I talk about, the death of something, I'm talking about the death and the letting go of our fantasies of how things should be. The word should is very important here, and it is related to that hurt child within us that can't understand adults hurting the child at that time in their life. And they create the world of fantasy and the word should. And that saves them from drowning and from, kind of dying young, to say. So what I want to underline is there is such a relief in going deep and addressing your fantasies. Look at your fantasies in your work, in your business, in your relationships, in your general life. look at the things that you are more than passionate about, that you're kind of obsessed with. If you're obsessed with something and you won't let something go, that's a fantasy. That's not a dream. A dream can be flexible, a dream can adapt, a dream can take many expressions. This strictness and this very hardcore approach tells you that there is a fantasy level involved. And I want to invite you to go deep and analyze your fantasies in your work and in your life because it will free you. You'll have to go through a little bit of a dark night of the soul, and it might not be a very long one, depending on how much you've worked on yourself until now, but it will free you. Sometimes we don't do that until we are not about, but actually in the process of losing everything. These fantasies and these emotions that created the fantasies are so strong that they actually create the rationalization in your mind that these fantasies are true and that you actually should be pursuing them. So I invite you to do that, to have courage to face your darkness and your pain and to be there for yourself and to be responsible for it. I think the word responsible takes you out of the fantasy realm. In fantasies, there's always somebody who has to save you or create a miracle. Not to say that miracles are not possible, but I don't want you to rely in your life on fantasies and miracles to keep you going, because you have your own strength and you have your own love. And I support you fully in going deep into this and letting your fantasies die so that your truth can actually come out. Take care. Bye.